introduce my team members, Sharifah Zainal, Muhammad Izzuddin Shah, Nabil Sakimi, Muhammad Faiz, and we are from Group 4. Our organization is called as ENV Matters Association. Well, the short form of Environment Matters Association. Well, our social marketing campaign is called as a Tossers Cool with Fine. Alright, in developing a marketing campaign, we would have to involve in step 1, which is to set the social issue background, purpose and focus. As for the social issue, we identify that littering habit and improper waste disposal on the side road has increased for the past few years. As for the background, we have identified 60% of 32 Malaysian population has failed to throw their trash into the trash bin. So the purpose in doing this social campaign is to instill the sense of guilt when littering and the concern about the environment. And the last part is our focus. We want to encourage people. We want to urge people to throw their rubbish in the right way and at the right place.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain more on step 2, which is SWOT analysis. Okay, the first one is strength. Strength in our product is that this is a high technology camera that can detect littering. Of course, this is a better way to deal with litters, people that throw their rubbish away. And the weakness that we found in this product is that it is quite an expensive product because it comes from a quite high technology, and because of that we have and we also have a limitation of budget for the goals that we want to achieve. But then the opportunity that we can get from this product is that the targeted area of littering can be controlled much more, and our camera make litterings much more harder for the people out there. And then of course there is always a threat to our product, which is an emerging of competitors with new invention for the littering problem, and also the people's attitude toward the camera that had been placed. Moving on to step 3 is that we want to select the priority audience for this campaign. Okay, the primary audience that we want to select is that people who are driving and throw out garbage while driving. Okay, that is our primary target, primary audience. And the secondary audience is that cyclists who litter their plastic bottle or plastic waste, and riders, cyclists and riders who throw away their plastic waste, their cigarette butts during their ride. Because the lifespan of this litter on the road is quite high, as had been provided in this slide.
Okay, so that is step 4, that is behavior and target goals. From our campaign, we focus to encourage people to dispose their waste of rubbish using the right way at the right place, which that from our campaign objective is to dispose the waste at the right place to stop littering at the road, which that we want to make the cleanliness at the public place, which that we acknowledge the fact of the road user and people in Malaysia to take the action, and that we will capture and monitoring by the surveillance camera, which that road user and people in Malaysia must be alert to take care of our environment, which that do not throw away the rubbish at public place in Malaysia. And our target goals for our campaign is to reduce the number of road littering by the road user, which that Malaysia has 70% people do not care and do not have the responsibilities towards littering littering with right properly and the right way in public place. Okay, so that is step 5, that is priority audience. For our campaign, the audience better is to show the road user and people in Malaysia are annoyed being surrounded, which that they throw away the rubbish when they go out. That is not good. That is not good example of behaviours toward the road user and people in Malaysia. From our campaign, the road user and people in Malaysia must be able to increase the morality that will portray to give the great examples towards others people in Malaysia.
Now we're moving on to the steps number 6. As for the step number 6, which is crafting desired positioning, when we are handling a campaign, we have specific target that we want our audience to know. We want to put in the mind of our audience. So as for Litterers Cool with Fine campaign, our positioning statement is that we want road user to stop road littering and start a proper waste disposal to avoid getting fined. Study shows 60% out of 32 million Malaysian road users are still fail to put their waste to dispose their waste at the right place. And also, government has spent around 200,000 monthly just for our capital city waste management. Therefore, this is a very crucial issues that we need to overcome, which is the road littering.
To the step 7, which is the intervention of marketing mix 4 P's. Alright, the first one would be the product, which is an augmented product where we will make use the anti-littertosser surveillance camera with the conjunction of the camera motorway system in Malaysia. Would be price, which is the monetary disincentives, where we will be given fines to people who is caught by this anti-littertosser surveillance camera. The third one is place, where the anti-littertosser surveillance camera will be stored at highways and as well as targeted litter road dumping site. The promotion, we see this an opportunity where we would use the key messages: the more you litter, the more you pay, a digital poster, a video, and we will use messengers from a spokesperson and also the Department of Environment Malaysia, DOE.
After all those hard work put into the implementation of our Litterers with Fine, now we move on to the step number 8. Number 8, which is the plan for monitoring and evaluation. For the monitoring purpose, we have 4 elements that we will look through. First is the input. What most important in the input is the expenditure spent on this campaign. Second, we have the output. Basically, the output, the process of measuring. So we will measure through the authority's record, which is defined. Third is the outcome. The outcome from the campaign is that we wanted to see the increasing number of awareness towards the fine and also the road cleanliness, the importance of road cleanliness. And for the impact, of course, there will be a reduction of road littering. How will it be measured? We will look through the authority's record and the numbers of awareness towards the fine, which during the first phase of implementation and the second phase of implementation, and of course through our social media platform Insight.
Moving on to step 9, which is budget. So we are using objective and task method, in which we are focusing on our objective, which is changing the littering behavior of the road users by creating fine. So for the camera, we are applying for 1 million grant from the government for our product. 1 million that includes the maintenance, which includes in the grant. We use 25,000 ringgit for the software of the camera, which we can purchase from a company in Singapore. And then we are focusing on highways, mainly heavy traffic highways. And the price of the camera itself, including the software, is around 50 to 60,000. And then moving on to step 10, which is the implementation plan. So in the implementation plan, we will discuss what to do, how much it will cost, who will be responsible, and when will it be done. So what to do is we will find a few hotspots for our product, which is highways such as Max, Plus and LITTERER'S, and then the camera will be hidden in the desired place. It is hidden so that people will not vandalize the camera. And then countless ads will be aired on TV and radio as the reminder, so people will know about the product and the fine that comes with it. So how much it will cost? As stated in the budget, the whole grant will cost around 1 million. But then for one camera, including software, it will cost around 50 to 60,000 ringgit. Who will be responsible? So the first one that will be responsible is our company, our organization, because we are the one who implement the campaign. And then the second one is the ones who apply for the grant, and then the Department of Environment and Ministry of Health. Why Ministry of Health? Because once this department collab with DBKL for people who throw cigarette butts in Kuala Lumpur. When will it be done? Is that it will be done in February 2021, and then in the first week the camera will be installed. The reminder will be aired, and then the fine, which is 1,000 ringgit for people who litters, will directly be generated to the litterer. And then for the second wave, it will be more strict, because the information and the reminder has been aired. So in the second phase or the second wave, if people keeps littering, they will be fined in a stricter way. But then when the awareness is increased, fine can be reduced. Example, from 1,000 ringgit per litterer, it can be reduced to 500.